This virtual festival has been organized by Youth Celebrate Diversity, and the festival is proudly sponsored by Boeing.
Hello, I'm Trevor. I'm going to be interviewing our first speaker for religious diversity. Hello. So
Hey,
I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and your faith and practice.
absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here, Trevor. And good afternoon to all the youth out there celebrating diversity. My name is Nabeeh Hasan. I guess in my 9 to 5, I am a biomedical researcher. I specialize in infectious disease, genomics of infectious disease, and kind of outbreak surveillance. But in my off hours, my passion projects are kind of served in a couple different ways. I'm the director for the Colorado Muslim Speakers Bureau. It's an organization that centers around, I guess, interfaith education. So it's an educational nonprofit that focuses not on trying to convert people to any religion, but trying to educate people about the common facts pertaining to the Muslim community, not just in America, throughout the world. So by that, you might understand that I'm Muslim. I've been Muslim my whole life. My family is multi-generational, Black African American. We've been here for, generations, and I'm actually second generation Muslim.
Awesome. So getting into the questions, what is one thing about your practice and about Islam that is commonly misunderstood?
Oh boy, you just said one thing. That's not really fair because one. Obviously, I'm not going to go for the softball with regards to the T word, the capital T word, which is terrorism. But I'll talk about gender inequities. And one of the common elements that is misunderstood about Islam is that the faith is inherently misogynistic and definitely treats people, particularly individuals who identify with a feminine or female gender identity, as second-class citizens. I would argue that the legacy with which the religion leads is not that. The difference is, however, once culture and religion kind of clashed and culture won out, that's when a lot of the misogynistic elements superseded the religious tenets, which were giving men and women equal rights, restoring equality between the different flavors of gender identity under the guise of an auspice of Islam were equal. This was something in which, individuals having, different kinds of gender identities were given equal rights. Culture kind of obfuscated that and took that away. So that's one big misunderstanding of many that individuals outside of the Muslim community have on the Muslim community, and even individuals within the Muslim community themselves have that misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You kind of answered my next question of a common stereotype or myth about Islam and how it's false. If there's anything else you'd like to speak to.
Well, an additional one to that, which is very salient to our experience in Colorado, the western part of the world, is that when people think of Muslim or Islam, they automatically connote it with the Middle East or Arab. And that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, the overwhelming majority of Muslims are not Arab, nor are they from the Middle East. Muslims come from every corner of the world. Muslims look like all kinds of folks. Every person on the screen right now, there are many, many Muslims who share similar, physical identities, or in which other people in society may look at them and say, "Hey, I know a Muslim who looks just like that." That is probably the most salient misunderstanding that I do see with regards to how we in the West oftentimes view Islam or Muslims, is that it is something decidedly foreign, when in fact Islam has been in the United States of America for generations. Some historical research has said even centuries. So that's a huge misunderstanding that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. What is one thing you want people to know about Islam?
I would love to know, or I would love for other folks to know that I don't hate them. That Islam is not about hate. In fact, you could look at things whether if you want to look at it in terms of something like yin and yang, or positive and negative. That you could say there is love and there is punishment. You could say love and punishment. For every time anybody thinks of something that's harsh, within the holy texts that Muslims read, love is mentioned in that 2 times for every time there's something that is maybe a little bit harsh. So don't think of Islam as a whole as something that's difficult or harsh or kind of it doesn't have anything sweet to it, and that's actually not true. And there's lots of ways that the faith itself and the people who practice that faith have the same jubilation, have the same fun, have the same ways in which we show love and affection, not just for each other, but just for life and the earth itself.
Yeah. To get a little more personal, if you don't mind, how has your spiritual practice impacted your life?
Oh, absolutely. So I would look at my spiritual practice and, thinking about being in the West, in which you see the mountains and the green and the water, and it reflects, it just makes a person reflect on something that clearly is bigger than you, whether that be science, Mother Nature, benevolent, higher power that has brought all these things to be. Something bigger than us created that, and that makes us eternally grateful for whatever that might be. And that gratefulness, that gratitude, is an exceptionally positive place to be, because it's the same gratitude that you give for the good and the bad, because it's all from a higher source than oneself, whether it be the individuals that we interact with, or whether it be a benevolent spirit that you may not be able to see or touch. There is a bigger group that is participating in the reality that we experience and helping make whatever we touch and see and experience come to be. The plants make the air that we breathe. Something allows us to have our heart beat without us thinking about it and saying, beat heart, beat heart. I'm eternally grateful for that. And that place of gratitude is where my spirituality is firmly rooted in. I would believe if most people, Muslims included, really, really think hard about their lives, they would find that same gratitude and they would find peace in that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I love that focus on gratitude. So my final question is, how can people best respect and support you and your community?
Oh man, just let us live. Just let us live. I mean, honestly, like all of us, let's get to know each other. As we celebrate diversity, one of the things that I firmly believe in, and you kids could call me corny if you like to, but it was something from a little anime called Naruto, where he was, saying his way was that, if you try your hardest, things will be good. That was his way. But also another one was that he truly believed that we got to know each other. If you really got to know one another, there's no way that you could hate me. And I do firmly believe that. I firmly believe that when we intimately get to know each other, our communities, but also as individuals, it's very hard to hate a fellow human being, someone that you actually see as another human or another sentient being, another life form that something helped create and bring into existence. How can you hate it? it's a miracle that any of us is here. We should respect and admire and love that miracle and cherish it. And I firmly believe that when we do get to know each other, and, you know, I think all religions say those same things, you know, love thy neighbor as you love thyself, one for one, what you want for yourself. Islam, one for your brother and sister, what you want for yourself. That's love, that's respect, that's, you know, wishing people the best and the brightest in their life and whatever they choose to do. I firmly believe that when we know each other, we will love each other, and we will want the best for each other.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time. If there's anything else you want to end on quickly, then feel free to do so.
Well, the famous greeting of peace. I wish each and every one of you, assalamu alaikum, peace from God be upon you. It was a pleasure being here. I've, you know, absolutely respected the work that Youth Celebrating Diversity has done over the past few years, that I've become familiar and aware of what you do in the organization. And I love supporting the great work that the YCD continues to do. So thank you guys for having me. And if you ever want to know anything more, look me up and we can have a conversation.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Happy Sunday.
To you as well.